Welcome to the show. Now please strap in for the truth and remember the words of the great Tom Cruise.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
Now welcome to Off Topic on Porn.
Good evening, OTOP fans, family, wherever and whomever you may find yourself to be. We're back. It's me. I'm back with Russell C. Russell, what's happening, man? How's it going?
No, nothing unusual is happening, and everything's going well, Rob. Thank you.
Well, good. Happy to have you along on this. As always, it's good to,
You
talk
doing
to you.
all right?
Yeah, going through a lot of different things, and it's been busy. It's been a little frenetic, but you know what? Cruising into Sunday and Monday, like we do it, where we always record on the weekends and get it out for our fans. So I just, you know what? Kind of like cruising in here. This lets me know where I am in the week. You know what I'm saying? So
I got you, man. I get that completely.
I enjoy it. And so we are joined again by James. James, what's up, man? How's it going, buddy?
Nothing much. I'm doing great. Just living the dream.
Living the dream. Look, you know what? You got to live the dream, man. You know what I'm saying? Live the dream, James. Never let them take that from you. All right.
Yes.
So we love it. So it's great to have you. So guys, a lot of interesting stuff this week. Let's jump right off on the. It was interesting. Trav, who's one of our people with us, he texted me last night. I was on my way to Food City to get something for an ingredient for dinner. I was making something, and he said, "Hey, man, they tried to get Trump again. So yet again, it looks like somebody has tried." And I shouldn't laugh. I'm just like incredulously laughing because it's like seriously, this is ridiculous. But it looks like there was another assassination attempt on the president. So James, I'm gonna start with you on this one because this is kind of you're a news kind of guy because that's your background. Correct me if I'm wrong, James, but doesn't this put him in a category of nobody has had more assassination attempts on his life in the sense of a president than President Trump? Doesn't that put him in a whole new category at this point?
Yeah, it sure does. But then again, we were talking about this before we started recording. Those are just two we know of.
Right.
At least, actually, I take that back. This is at least three that's
I
coming
think
out.
it's
in the
three.
news.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we're three deep now, or more. Maybe even,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right, because we had the shooting
Yeah.
in Butler, Pennsylvania, where Trump's ear
Right.
got almost taken out.
Yeah.
They found the blind in the airport in Florida.
Yep.
No gunman, but they found a stand where a gunman could shoot him.
Right.
But they
And then
discovered
there was the
that.
golf course, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, that's four. Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly. And then there's a shooter. He went into the Hilton Hotel in Washington D.C. Oddly and interestingly enough, President Ronald Reagan was shot there. But there was an attempt. His assassination attempt was at the same hotel. A lot of folks are saying, "What is up with this hotel? The security is lax. Why are
Right.
we having any president go to this horrible hotel?" And the suspect, who's in custody, 31 years old, Cole Tomas Allen, he lives at home with mom and dad. He contributed money to the Kamala Harris campaign, registered Democrat. He admitted to police supposedly that he wanted to take out members of the Trump administration. He only got as far as like 50 yards from the stage. He did fire off a shot with a shotgun. It hit a Secret Service agent. He had on a bulletproof vest. Good job for that.
yeah.
And he was immediately tackled and taken into custody. Now the thing about this case is that it's being spun as this weird Christian versus non-Christian. President Trump says he's a sick guy. He's really anti-Christian. But people on the left are saying, well, wait a second. He belongs to this church. He was part of a Christian youth organization. So they're trying to spin it. It's like, never mind the fact that the president almost was murdered.
Right.
Let's figure out a way to make this a Christian versus non-Christian thing.
Yeah.
Or Republican versus Democrat thing.
Sure. Yeah. Well, and Russell, let me ask you a question. Let me go over to you. Are we just in a time of political violence where does it seem to you like it does to me where we no longer talk through our problems now? We've gotten to such heated rhetoric where now we just decide, okay, I'm going to take out my political rivals, and we've got such heated rhetoric that now that seems to be the modus operandi is we just destroy people literally destroy people.
Well, it depends on what you mean by we. I agree with your sentiment, but I'm not trying to do that.
No,
Are
I'm not
you,
either. But
James?
No,
I
it's
don't think.
people on the left. I think. I think it's
Yeah,
the Marxists of the
it's so
world.
so it's certain people are doing
yeah,
that.
that's what I mean. Yeah,
And it almost without exception ends up being people on the left who, by the way, their voices are all trying to say that it's the people on the right, people who are pro Second Amendment and things like that, we're the violent ones, and that we're the ones that are prone to doing those kinds of things. But that is not what the facts bear out at all, ever. And I mean, James just told us about the
yeah.
latest event here, and once again, it's coming out of the same camp. So yeah, there are. Here's the disturbing thing: the Democrat Party and leftists in general in our culture are moving at light speed further left. And the more the further left you go, the more radicalized you are.
Right.
And so we've got a pretty fair swath of people in this country who have embraced bad stuff, thinking they're embracing good stuff because they have had their minds affected and they've been brainwashed, or maybe they're just evil people and some of them want to just do this stuff anyway, and they're being opportunistic. But the Democrat Party has morphed into a toxic death cult. That's what Trey Allen Ware here in San Antonio calls them, and I agree with him. They've morphed into a death cult, and this is a manifestation of that death cult. They've always been, because they're always in favor of killing unborn children, for example, things like that. But this is just the latest iteration, and we're seeing an ever increasing effort to kill a lot of people, or people are killed by somebody if they're on that side in some form or fashion, or supported by that side, then they are excused. I cite the illegal aliens that come in who commit murder, who commit rape, and somehow these people are released by some of these leftist DAs around the country. Meanwhile, people who smoke joints in the same county, they're incarcerated to the fullest extent of the law because they're U.S. citizens. Those kinds of things are what are going on, and it's being done on one side of the political aisle only. So that's my comments on it.
Yeah, no, it seems to me we've lost the ability to, and James mentioned Ronald Reagan. We've lost the ability to have a conversation, join each other in the middle, and say, "Hey, let's
No,
let's just, where he,
they lost
Hey.
well, yeah, no, right,
They
yeah,
have lost, because we're here, we're trying to talk.
no, right, no, and that's what I'm saying.
we're
Yeah,
doing here.
yeah, it's just,
They have lost that ability.
yeah, there's just no ability anymore to do those things, and I
I'm
think
pointing
that's.
fingers. Yes, I'm pointing fingers.
So it's really I want to say sad because it just, I don't know, it just really is not. It speaks to me to a loss of what really made this country great. When you have those freedoms, one of those is you can disagree and that's okay, but let's have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
civil discourse.
civil discourse. Good, thank you, James. I was trying to get to the word and I couldn't get there. But yeah, the civil discourse, and that's what we seem to have really we seem to be missing in this stuff. But yeah, so again, President Trump is again in a category that nobody should or wants to be in, which is he's got the most assassination attempts on his life at this point.
Yeah,
So
He also has the status of having avoided the most assassination attempts too. So
at this
there's
point,
that stat.
yeah, no,
stat
thankfully for that.
statistic.
Yeah, so that's good. Um, so the next thing, there is a movie coming out called The Story of Everything, and so this movie is coming to theaters. And so Russell, I know this one is actually near and dear to your heart. So and we're gonna put a link to the trailer in the comments and in the description so that you can click on it, watch it. We're gonna encourage everybody to do that. We would normally play it, but we don't want to get, we don't want the podcast taken down or this
YouTube
episode
police, yeah.
taken down. Yeah, YouTube protocols, people.
Yeah,
YouTube
yes.
protocols. But Russell, let's talk a little bit about that. Just give us kind of a quick synopsis of this movie and kind of what brought it about and things like that.
Well, okay, so it's called The Story of Everything. And if you're kind of involved in, scientific, even if you're just a layperson, but you like science stuff, you probably remember the late Stephen Hawking. And Stephen Hawking talked about, and I had actually published a book, and there have been video interviews and all around the idea. And the book actually is titled the uh, the history of everything. I believe that's what it is. And what it is, it's no, I'm sorry, the theory of everything. That's what it's called, the theory of everything.
Yep,
And so, what is this theory of everything? So, this is kind of a takeoff on that title, and I think it's appropriate. Um, Stephen Meyer, I've got a copy of the book here. People can probably, hopefully, see a picture of this. This movie, the story of everything, is based on his book, Return of the God Hypothesis. And the subtitle there is Three Scientific Discoveries That Reveal the Mind Behind the Universe. So their whole approach here is to show and support the fact that no matter where we look in science, we see the evidences and earmarks of an intelligent designer who is behind the origin and creation of the universe and everything in it. And that it's actually those who are naturalists and secularists that are on the ropes right now, because if people don't know this, you need to know this. Darwinian philosophy is dead. There are scientists out there now who are secularists, who are former Darwinians, and maybe they would call themselves Darwinians, but they even are saying that they want to find a different theory of Darwinism, or a different theory of evolution, or a different theory of origins that they can subscribe to. Because everything that we have been taught in our textbooks and in junior high and high school for decades and decades just is not, it's not true, and it's being jettisoned now by so many in the scientific community. I think they will talk a little bit about that. I haven't seen this movie because it's not out yet, but some of the information on the movie is this. It's the story of everything that takes us on a journey into the origins of humanity and the cosmos, illuminating mankind's most important scientific discoveries and revealing that everything has been created by a designer. That's what they say on one side here that comments on the movie. I have seen in the last several days Dr. Stephen Meyer on numerous broadcasts. I've spent hours. It caught my attention, and based on everything he's saying, this is going to be quite a fabulous movie. Now, it's slated to come out in theaters on April 30th. That's this coming Friday, and it is slated to run through May 5th or 6th. I can't remember which one. It is May 6th. Okay,
May 6th,
and so slated to run through May 6th. And then depending upon how successful it is, if it's successful, then theaters will keep it and will pretty much add it to a standard run movie list, and they'll keep showing it. So all that to say, it would really be nice if believers would get out there, or anybody that's interested in this stuff, because this is not just for Christians. This is really for everybody that's interested in science and in the origin of the universe, and by extension, our origins, right? Anyone who can do so, go see the movie either this Friday or through anytime from this Friday through the 6th, and see if we can get the numbers to a point where it stays in the theaters. So anyway, that's I don't know if there's any questions that you have on that in addition, Rob, but that's kind of the synopsis of the movie and what's going to happen. And I just hope everybody will go see it.
So here's my question: are you going to go see it?
I am going to go see it probably this Friday. I'm also going to I have someone that I homeschool and tutor, and I'm going to take that person also, that young person, to see it.
So here's my question for you then, my follow-up, because I had a question and I had a follow-up question.
All right.
You like that? There we go. See, I had a reason. So why don't we do this then?
You're a journalist.
There we go. I'm trying to be like James. Okay, James, you're rubbing off on me, buddy. Thank you.
I want to be James when I grow up.
There you go. Look, Craig, you know James. So it's an inside joke way inside the lines. don't try to figure it out, people. Hey, so Russell, here's my question for you then. Why don't can you bring back it's out this you're gonna see it this Friday, yeah?
That's my plan.
Okay, cool. So why don't we then come back with a movie review on the
Okay.
next episode for everyone, so you can kind of give us your
Sure.
thoughts. So that will
That's a
be
great idea.
your.
Now you're pigeonholing me into Friday.
That's it.
Or
Look, we're
Saturday,
locking them in,
or
people.
Sunday.
How you cooking with grease?
That we're cooking with grease. Come on, son.
you
Well,
cooking
I
with
can watch it
grease.
Friday, Saturday, or Sunday and
That's
still
it.
do that. So
That's
yeah,
it.
let's do that. That's
Yeah,
a
so
great
that
idea.
way we can come back and you can give us your thoughts. So we'll have that on the next episode for everyone. Quickly, because we do have a little bit of extra time, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on a question. We were talking about this pre-record, in our episode meeting. So there seems to be a fad, and I don't know if it's a fad or if it's true. So just kind of a quick fire final thought kind of thing. There seems to be a thing where celebrities are coming out that, hey, I'm a believer. Okay, so you've got people like Russell Brand, Justin Bieber, Kanye West, Eminem, Nicki Minaj. Some of these celebrities saying, "Hey, I'm a believer." Okay, so my question to you guys is, and again, I don't want to judge their hearts, but we can always judge fruit, right? We in fact we are commanded to judge fruit. So my question is it a new fad? Like, hey, this is the new thing where it's like, hey, there's always these new things where I think James mentioned that where it's like, hey, the new thing is to adopt a child from a, poor third world country and give them a better
Right.
life or, whatever else. Or is it truly a conversion experience that they're having? So quick thoughts, not long because we don't want to go over our time here, but quick fire thoughts. Russell, will start with you and finish with James. Go.
Well, I don't know. I can't speak for other people's professions of faith. I can say that probably some people are jumping on some bandwagon out there because it is becoming more in vogue in some circles to make a profession of faith. But there's also a lot of Christian persecution out there, so there's a cost to it. The thing that I wonder about is if these people are coming to faith in Christ, who is discipling them? Are they attending a Bible believing congregation with a leadership that is actually proactive in discipleship? Or are they just kind of doing like most Christians today and just floating along and doing things according to the dictates of their own personal conscience with no direction at all from the Bible or anything or anyone else? So that if a person makes a profession of faith, they don't automatically become Jesus. Sorry, everybody. That's just
It's true.
people basically old things are passed away. Behold, all things are come new. But
Right.
that's talking about the condition of the believer. That's not talking about the behavior. Now, sometimes, a lot of times, behavior does change, but it's not going to change in every regard because if it did, then discipleship would be unnecessary.
Right.
So we have to all go through discipleship.
Right.
And they have to go through discipleship. So my question, I guess the question I add to this is, are they even being discipled? Because if not, no wonder things like this keep happening.
Sure. Absolutely. James, final thoughts?
My final thought on that is that just because someone comes to faith, let's not rush to make them a pastor.
Hey, okay.
Let's not have
I agree.
Pastor Kanye, Pastor Nicki Minaj. Okay, that's Scripture actually says something about that.
It does.
Don't let
Yes.
someone who's young put them
Yes.
in leadership role.
Right.
Not a
Young in
novice.
age, young in faith.
Right.
Not a novice.
If these people are truly believers, you don't stick a microphone and say, "Hey, Kirk Cameron, you're telling us that hell doesn't exist." I don't really care what Kirk Cameron says about hell. I care what the Bible says about hell.
Absolutely.
I care what the Bible says on all these topics. So I think that's part of it. Because they are celebrities, they automatically get thrust into the public
Right.
limelight, and they haven't deserved. They haven't earned it yet.
Right. No,
If
absolutely.
they make good movies, great. If they want to talk about Jesus, go to Bible school first.
That's it. No, my final thought on it really is, hey, disciple them like Russell said, and James, to your point, let's let them get some seasoning on there, and let's let them get some depth and some knowledge before we start thrusting a microphone in front of them and letting them start disciple people when they haven't been discipled themselves. So, I again, but to Russell's point, I'm not, do we know if they've had a true conversion experience? I don't know. Again, we can only talk about the fruit. So, But, gentlemen, on that note, it's time to pay a couple bills here. Let's talk about mountain mowers. We all like mountain mowers, right? Um, they're one of our favorite sponsors here on Off Topic on Point. Mountain mowers is, if you're in the Tri County area, they are your local experts for keeping your yard looking its best. Whether it's mowing, trimming, or full lawn care, Mountain Mowers has you covered with reliable service and a personal touch. They know every yard is different and they treat yours like their own. If you're ready for a lawn that stands out without all the hassle, call Mountain Mowers LLC today at 276-730-8230. Mountain Mowers, they cut grass, not corners. So again, we love Mountain Mowers, and we hope that you will utilize them. Give them a call and let them work uh, to help you with your lawn and landscape maintenance needs. So, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure as always, and I will say this as we always do: you don't have to
Don't
be.
forget,
Oh,
don't forget,
like, subscribe, share with your friends.
like, comment,
Subscribe, share the comments, and if
subscribe,
you want to talk to us, by the
please.
way, you can also email us at otopnow@gmail.com. And like we always sign off with, you do not have to be on topic. You can be off topic, but you must always be on point. So we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Have a good one.